Welcome back, everybody. Sive Morten is here with the ForexPeaceArmy.com. So let's take a look again on the Forex market. In particular, today we will talk on euro currency and Great British Pound. So yesterday, actually, it was some mixed results. Despite that, market has shown some upward bounce from the points that we have discussed. It was not able to continue. It just shows some upward action for 40 pips and then turns down again. And that actually breaks the previous suggestion because it has dropped significantly lower than we thought and break the shape of the three drive pattern. Now we can't rely on it anymore and we have to prepare something new. At the same time, overall bullish context here has not disappeared. So my market is just changing the shape, and our prediction might just take the different different shape. So we're started with the daily chart, and here the major thing that we have to keep an eye on is, of course, grabber pattern. So market is coming closer to MACD predictor. You could see that MACD line is coming close. In fact, this red line, those who do not know it, in fact the derivative indicator from the MACD. It shows precise price at which lines of the simple MACD will cross. So they precise the price of the break-even points of the trend by MACD. So, and we're trying to catch the grabber pattern, something like this. So when during the session we have the change of the trend, but the end of the session trend has not changed. So and that might happen in the nearest 1-2 sessions. If this will happen, this might be a really good background and the pattern that we could rely on, suggesting that our prediction might start somewhere from the current area. Don't forget, guys, this is also 30% support. It stands right here from the whole upper direction. It stands around the 1620 area right there. So grabber might be accompanied also with the fib level. On the 4-time frame chart, you could see the results of our recent trading process. So that was the bottom of between the second and potential third drive, and now it is taken out. So you can see that market dropped lower, and it means we can't treat it anymore as a free drive. So now it's cancelled. Yesterday, with this performance, it will be better shown on the hourly chart. I will show a bit later, but in general, attempt to make the butterfly market actually has tried to move higher, as I said, 45 pips, but later this action stopped and turns down. What the patterns we could consider for now? This is potential guardians triple to buy. It's not bad. Here you can see we have also confidence support around 16 area. City leg here is relatively slow, so you can see much slower than the AB, which is good sign for the bulls. And actually market stands near the OP, or maybe better to say it's almost actually completed the OP. Another pattern we have on the hourly chart, it hasn't quite reached the OP target with this minor ABCD, but maybe it will happen in tomorrow session. At least in this point, you could make the two decisions. First, if you are prefer to wait some more signs of the possible reversal and not ready to take the position just based on the targets around the support area, then you should start watching what will happen around it. So trying to catch something that we tried to do yesterday with these possible hand shorts. You can see that we haven't got any hand shorts. Market just started upper direction and then collapse. So in fact, our scenario has not been formed even. And but here we also could start searching for something. Maybe some minor reversal pattern will be formed. Just some confirmation that points on our plan that we're right, and indeed market is trying to do something. And at the same time, you could sit and wait for grabber on the daily. If these two objects will coincide, look at the grabber, market complete this downside ABCD, start forming here some pattern. That's great. So you could rely on this and try and take the position. Alternative way to behavior, it's a bit more risky, but it is simpler. Since in general we're standing in an area where we suggest position taking, you could try and take minor lots in this range, so some kind of the accumulation, because on the full time frame chart you could see OP mostly is done, placing stop somewhere below the 1590 area, maybe some here, and take some minor chunks of the positions, 10% of your position, 15% of your position, just taken in parts. For instance, you bought 15%, sit in the hands. If market dropped lower, complete this OP, start forming here kind of the hand shoulders or butterfly, you take a bit more, 30% of your position. Grabber has been formed on the daily chart, add more, and at some point you just accumulate your standard trading lot somewhere in an area of the accumulation, so you will be prepared for possible action without trying to catch the precise bottom, some reversal. This is a smoother way of the some softer approach for position taking. It has one advantage, that if suddenly market starts upward action by some reason, I do not know, maybe Jerome Powell will tell something in the Jackson Hole on Friday, or some data will be released, you at least will be in the game with the fraction of your trading lot. While if you sit in the hands and waiting for a particular reversal, yes, it will be better entry opportunity, you could get really jackpot, but if action starts earlier, you just missed it. So that in towards what we have on the euro. Why in general I am also watching for these points, why I think in general that upward action might start. Based on a recent discussion of the Great British Pound, those of you who watched our gold market video yesterday, there I've shown this picture already. On the daily chart of the Great British Pound, take a look what we have. That's our trade that we have taken last week, and actually 2 weeks before. This was the weekly bread and butter trade right to the target, but take a look what's going on right now. Market is showing retracement, and if you take a look at the full time frame chart, you clearly could see here the hand shoulders pattern. This is the first point. Second point, if market will reach 34.20 area, it also will be the bread and butter buy on the daily chart. At first glance, it seems that it's very small thrust, but if you calculate number of candles, you will see that it's suitable for Joe the Napoli bread and butter trade, so-called momentum trade. So here's enough momentum to take the long position on the 30% retracement, and that's particularly what we're watching for. So that might be actually some double juice. So in fact, you get the position for a bread and butter trade with a small risk based on this momentum, but it also might be the entry trade, and that will trigger the action with the hand and shoulders. So in fact, as a result, you could get not just the target of the bread and butter, but also you could get just upward continuation with the hand and shoulders. So bread and butter might be used just the entry pattern. And this picture, together with what we see on the every currency, brings more or less reliable foundation. So as here, as there, we see the signs of the possible upward action. That's why chances that your currency could start action somewhere from 116 area, based on this guard you put, so maybe it will complete this pattern as well, and especially if we will get the grabber on the daily today or tomorrow, it has, well, it's rather reliable by my view. So that and so was what we have currently. Let's keep watching, and hopefully we will get a bit more clarity in today's session by the today's session tomorrow, and see tomorrow. Let's see what we will get.